Right now, Sun Prairie City Council passes a wheel tax. Why this levy is becoming a growing trend across the state. Plus, ramping up security in a small Ohio town. The threats being reported after false claims are spread about Haitian immigrants eating pets. And planning for an accident, when medical experts say you can do to keep your family safe during a potential emergency. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. Sun Prairie residents will now have to pay more to own a vehicle. Tonight, City Council passing a wheel tax at its meeting. And that's where we find our Braden Ross. And Braden, this is really part of a larger trend, really all across Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's right, Eric. This is a growing trend, like you said. But tonight, let's talk about what happened here in Sun Prairie. The City Council approved that $30 wheel tax, $30 per year that you will see on your registration when you go to re-register your car. That'll go into effect on February 1st of next year. But yeah, this is a growing trend here in Wisconsin. I actually talked to an expert today about why so many municipalities are turning to a wheel tax. Take a look.
When there's a real struggle for every municipality to balance their budget, any little source of new revenue is, I think, and should be on the table.
In 2011, there were only 4 Wisconsin communities that imposed a wheel tax. But as road repairs and infrastructure projects have gotten more expensive and state aid and property tax limits haven't kept up, municipalities have been forced to fund roads and transportation in other ways.
They look for small extra sources of revenue, and the wheels tax is an obvious one.
Today, there are more than 50 cities and counties in Wisconsin with wheel taxes. In Madison, drivers pay $40 for the city tax and $28 for the county levy. That's on top of the $85 annual state registration fee.
These kind of taxes that you're referring to are usually called generically, at least, user fees.
The idea, rather than pay for road costs through taxes that everyone pays into, the money comes out of the wheel tax pot that's funded by those who actually use the roads.
If I'm using a service, I ought to pay for it, hence the name user fees. On the other hand, if we expand that to services that every municipal resident should have access to, then people who have low income are really restricted.
But asking your constituents to pay more taxes, not necessarily an easy sell. And it certainly wasn't an easy sell here tonight. These council members said they had multiple hours-long meetings talking about this. They even talked about it for hours tonight, too. But again, finally coming to that conclusion that they will impose that $30 wheel tax starting February 1, 2025. For now, reporting live in Sun Prairie, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
All right, Braden, thank you. GOP vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance spoke to a crowd in Eau Claire earlier today. Western Wisconsin remains a target for both sides of the political spectrum. Senator Vance stopped in Wisconsin last month, also in Eau Claire, to tour a manufacturing facility. And today, the senator discussed the impacts of immigration in non-border states and also took questions from reporters about child care. Senator Vance says the government needs to give families more options.
But I meet families every single day out on the campaign trail, and some of the stories they're telling me, I mean, you get 2 kids in daycare paying $25,000 a year in childcare. I actually heard from somebody just yesterday who has 2 children in daycare and actually is losing money by going to work because of how expensive daycare is. And again, we got to just give people options. We got to give people choice.
Now, historically, Eau Claire has been reliably Democratic, and Vice President Kamala Harris is making another trip to Wisconsin. The Democratic presidential candidate will hold a rally in Madison on Friday. Campaign officials say it'll be held in the early evening hours, with more details about this event to be released at a later date. And Vice President Harris has made 8 stops in Wisconsin this year, and that includes 4 of them since President Biden dropped out back in July. Of course, both presidential candidates are using social media to reach the younger generation, but there are some dangers to be aware of in discerning fact from fiction on those platforms. According to the Pew Research Center, people who only get their information from social media are more likely to be exposed to made-up news. UW-Madison professor Mike Wagner says the best way to fact-check information is to do a deep search on topics and find multiple sources to back a claim. All of this information is also applicable to adults who use social media. In Ohio, state troopers, tower cameras, and bomb detection dogs are being deployed at Springfield schools after dozens of bomb threats. Those threats apparently are linked to now debunked claims by former President Trump at last week's presidential debate about Haitian immigrants stealing and eating pets. Sherelle Hubbard has the story.
Former President Donald Trump may have been trying to score political points on immigration.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs.
But after that inflammatory statement that has been debunked as a rumor, schools, universities, and city buildings in Springfield, Ohio have received at least 33 bomb threats, according to officials, although the number of threats dropped drastically on Tuesday.
I think we're going on 5 or 6 days of continuous threats.
The state's governor, Republican Mike DeWine, said state troopers will sweep each of the district's 17 school buildings before classes start and will remain on campus throughout the day to provide security.
Teachers also, though, told us that the kids had a tough day yesterday. I think they used the term as a rough day.
DeWine says 2 colleges and 2 elementary schools shut down in-person learning Monday after receiving separate threats. Some residents say the baseless rumors are hurting people in the community.
I'm embarrassed the way we've treated the Haitians, honestly.
I wish he can be apologized for what he said, because we have children.
Former President Trump was asked if he would denounce the threats over the weekend. He did not walk back his false claims of cats and dogs being eaten in Springfield.
I don't know what happened with the bomb threats. I know that it's been taken over by illegal migrants.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
We'll continue to see summer-like temperatures over the coming days. Also, though, a chance for showers soon. Let's check in with meteorologist Jacob Montesano for when we could maybe see a few drops. Jacob?
Yeah, there is more rain in the forecast than we've seen really over the past, month or so. But we still are going to see relatively dry conditions for the rest of this week. Now, looking at the current conditions right near 70, it's very similar right now compared to what we saw this time last night. Right around 70, upper 60s across Dane County. A few areas to the north and west in the upper 50s, and also a few areas closer to the lake in the 50s. And it's been so similar that the high temperature in Madison today was the exact same high as yesterday, and across the area, once again, upper 80s, lower 90s. And if we take a look at the overnight forecast, it will get a little cooler tonight compared to the last couple nights. Lows will be in the middle 50s with mostly clear skies, but tomorrow during the day, it's going to be a very similar day to today and yesterday. Highs in the middle to lower 80s, plenty of sunshine, and we're going to continue to see 80s after tomorrow, but there is a cool down in the forecast, and there is the possibility we could see a good amount of rainfall before the end of next week. I'll talk more in detail about that coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. The man who pled guilty to a deadly shooting on Lakeside Street in Madison 2 years ago learned his punishment today. Edward Smith has been sentenced to 8 years in prison. The 42-year-old pled guilty back in May to second-degree reckless homicide. It was part of a plea deal that dismissed 4 counts of felony bail jumping and 1 count of possessing a firearm as a convicted felon. The charges stem from a November 2022 shooting that killed Shantari Riley. The criminal complaint alleges that a witness saw Smith and Riley fighting near an SUV. According to the complaint, Smith and Riley were stepbrothers. Smith was arrested just over 2 weeks after that shooting. He was also sentenced to 7 years extended supervision following that incarceration. We now know the name of the Rock County Jail inmate who was found dead inside his cell on Friday. The Rock County Medical Examiner's Office has identified him as Jacob West of Beloit. A correctional officer found the 30-year-old unresponsive in his cell while doing a routine security check. West was housed in a cell by himself. His cause of death is still pending. The incident is being investigated by the Rock County Sheriff's Office. Fitchburg firefighters rescue a man after his vehicle becomes submerged in a retention pond. This morning, crews were called to McKee Farms Park for a car half submerged with a man standing on top of it. A firefighter entered the water and helped him to shore. The man was not injured. Firefighters then helped the tow service pull that vehicle from the water. A local healthcare provider is reminding residents to have a plan in place to stay safe. September is Emergency Preparedness Month, and SSM Health is reminding people of the importance of creating a family plan for emergencies. And these plans can be for environmental events like tornadoes or blizzards, or it can be for an unpredictable emergency like a fire or car accident. SSM's Environmental and Health Safety Manager also recommends creating an emergency supply kit.
Non-perishable items, weather radios, flashlights, extra batteries, first aid kits. I discussed tourniquets are always a good idea. Even for, I know there's a lot of hunters in Wisconsin, just carrying a tourniquet and stop the bleed kit with you when you're in the field is a good idea too. Cell phone chargers, medicines, if you have small ones, diapers, formula, candles and matches, and sealed Ziploc bags.
Experts also add that having written documents of emergency and family contact information is a good idea in case the internet is down. After the break, Jacob will tell us more about the high temperatures and the chance of showers coming our way, and the Madison School District raising wages for its teachers, where the district believes that increase will help give students a better education. Stay with us.
This is Good News, Madison.
Brought to you by Don's Home Furniture.
Overture Center's mission is to support and elevate the community's creative culture through the arts. So 2024 marks the 20th anniversary of the opening of Overture Center for the Arts, and we are celebrating all of what we call the O moments that people experience when they come to Overture.
And that is Good News, Madison, brought to you by Don's Home Furniture.
Set summer in motion with a Honda Accord Hybrid, CR-V Hybrid, new Civic Hybrid, or all-electric Prologue SUV. Take a vacation, staycation, or just a weekend drive with the windows down. Whatever you do, make it epic with Honda. The 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. So act now. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
If your windows are leaky and drafty, it's possible they weren't installed properly. Many installers lack proper training, and shoddy installation leaves your home vulnerable to extreme weather. At Next Door & Window, we're reinventing window installation. Our approach ensures your windows are sealed tight and energy efficient. And your windows and doors will be installed by certified experts who treat your home as if it was their own. When you demand tomorrow's comfort, Next delivers. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
I'm a two-time Trump voter.
In 2024, I cannot support Donald Trump.
Trump is 100%
responsible for January 6th.
His treatment of women is just disgusting.
Trump called servicemen suckers and losers.
If Trump has a second term,
it will be much worse than the first.
Kamala Harris is a prosecutor.
He's a convicted felon. In 2024,
I will be
proudly voting for Kamala Harris.
Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Here's the secret worth sharing. Robertson, Wisconsin's aesthetic leader, has nurses that specialize in custom treatment plans. Always natural, never overfilled. Time to learn how aging is different at Robertson.
Hot tub season is here now, and Leisure Concepts has so many hot tubs in our showroom we can barely move. Tons of new hot tubs. Floor models are on sale, and a powerful 4-seat hot tub is just $59.99. We'll deliver your new hot tub immediately, and we train you so owning and loving your hot tub is a breeze. Check out our huge packed showroom now for a great hot tub at a great price. Leisure Concepts is on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
Did you know there is no dental care for our veterans at the VA unless you are 100% disabled? Objective Veterans Smile is a nonprofit providing free dental care for our veterans, and they need our help. Sponsor a Wisconsin veteran today for just $25 a month. Click or scan to learn more now.
The final sprint to Election Day is on, and News 3 Now this morning is focused on the races and the policies that matter to you, the voter.
We're taking a look at both sides of the issues and where the candidates stand so you can cast your vote with confidence.
3 for the people, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Teachers in the Madison Metropolitan School District will be getting raises in the coming months. This week, the school board unanimously approved an agreement between MMSD and the teachers union after months of negotiations. Armand Rahman breaks down how much more those wages will go up. Armand?
Eric, the wage increase aims to help offset the pressures of inflation and increases in health care and housing costs that Madison has seen in recent years. But part of the raise hinges on whether voters approve the district's operational referendum in November. At their meeting Monday, the MMSD school board voted to approve a plan that gives staff a guaranteed 2.06% increase in base wages first.
Folks are going to get a retroactive payment from July 1, 2024, and they should... different groups will kind of see the first payment slightly differently. We have biweekly staff who will see the increase in early October.
The next payment, another 2.06% increase, depends on whether voters approve the district's operation referendum of $100 million on the ballot this November. If that passes, the total 4.12% increase is the most allowed by Wisconsin law.
All of us have been facing inflation. They were really clear about feeling like a cost of living increase was important.
Board President Nichelle Nichols says it was also clear that students learning now and moving forward was on the line.
After a couple of years of facing the vacancy rates, just really wanting to have our classrooms fully staffed, wanting to retain the folks that are committed to our district, as well as attracting new folks.
Representatives from Madison Teachers Inc. couldn't sit down for an interview, but the executive director sent us a statement that reads in part, while we believe that MMSD should budget the maximum cost of living adjustment to all workers without a referendum, the MMSD Board of Education and Administration communicated that due to financial constraints from limited state funding and the end of federal resources from the pandemic, they were not able to make this commitment. Nichols says wages and benefits make up the biggest operating expense in the district's budget, but the whole thing would have to be looked at again if the referendum fails.
We're just hopeful that our Madison community will take time to understand what's at stake in the referendum.
And according to the Department of Public Instruction, in 2023 and 2024, MMSD's average salary for teachers ranked among the highest when compared to Middleton, Cross Plains, Monona, Oregon, and Verona.
Armand, thank you. The city of Madison making its garbage collection fleet more environmentally friendly. Today, the city officials showing off their 2 new electric garbage trucks. Madison, the first community in Wisconsin to have fully electric vehicles in its garbage collection fleet. The 2 trucks were purchased with city funds to replace outgoing diesel vehicles. Both vehicles began operation in July and have a lifespan of 10 to 15 years.
So these vehicles offer real-world here benefits. They're more efficient, they're quieter, they're safer, they have lower emissions, which means they're also healthier for the communities that they serve. So for generations to come at that as well.
Currently, the city's working on a timeline to transition the rest of its fleet to electric vehicles. Wisconsin officials welcome more than 20 new U.S. citizens in Madison today. The celebration of Welcoming Week, the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services held a special naturalization ceremony. 27 immigrants from 17 different countries were granted U.S. citizenship. This is just one of many naturalization ceremonies taking place across the country this week. The owner of Naples 15 in Madison says he's honored to finally be a U.S. citizen.
Madison community has been great. Actually, it was a more of a welcome. I mean, they welcomed me since day one, and I feel home right back. I mean, right away. They are wonderful. They super honest people, hard worker. So I'm very proud and honored to be part of a citizenship in Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcoming Week started back in 2012. It's an annual campaign showcasing the community striving to be a more welcoming place for all people. Well, the 80-degree weather isn't going away anytime soon. We'll check back in with meteorologist Jacob Madison to see when our dry spell, however, could end. Jacob.
Thanks, Eric. Taking a look at the 3 things you need to know, we're going to see the 80s at least through Friday with a good chance of some rain Thursday night, but an even better chance of rain will come early next week. Now, for Thursday, there actually is a small chance of severe weather for areas near the Mississippi River. This includes you folks in Prairie du Chien, but especially further northwest where there's a slight risk across a lot of Minnesota and portions of Iowa and the far northwestern portion of Wisconsin. So here's a look at future track. We are going to be dry for all of the day tomorrow. Could see a few clouds rolling into the area overnight, but we're not expecting rainfall until maybe Thursday morning. Look off to the west. There are a few showers and storms, but they're going to dissipate a little bit as they move into the area. People near the Mississippi River could see some of those showers and storms during the afternoon, but they're going to continue to dissipate as they push off to the east. However, during the evening, we're going to see another line of showers and storms move into our area. Not expected to see any severe weather by the time they get to southern Wisconsin, but we could see some widespread showers, maybe even a few thunderstorms that could produce some heavy rain for a brief period of time. But the rain is expected to be fairly brief. It will happen during the overnight hours and clear out by the time we get to Friday morning. But total precipitation, I mean, we'll take whatever we can get, but it could be around, a quarter of an inch to a half inch for a lot of locations, maybe even up to an inch the further north you go. And overall, overall, the further northwest you're located, northwest of our area entirely, some areas could see over an inch of rainfall. So definitely some welcoming rainfall, but it doesn't end there. Here's a look at futurecasts starting with the weekend. Now, there's a chance of rain Saturday, but it looks like we'll just see some general cloud cover. Sunday, we'll see a little bit of better chance of rainfall, but then this line, or not really line, this system of showers and storms will move into our area either Sunday night or early Monday. And take a look at how widespread this rain could be. And both the Euro and GFS are in good agreement that especially on Monday, we're going to see some widespread showers and storms that could bring a very decent amount of rainfall to our area. Easily the most rainfall we've seen this month, and it could last even throughout the day on Tuesday as well. So from Sunday through Tuesday, we are expecting some widespread showers and storms. Now, it likely isn't going to rain during the entire time like that futurecast suggested, but the showers and storms look to be around the area nonetheless. So fall actually starts right on Sunday, and that's when the rain is expected to move into our area and when the highs may only be in the 70s. And 70s are in the forecast for the rest of next week. It is still above average, though, for this time of year, because by next week, the average highs are in the upper 60s. So we're still going to be in the middle 80s the next 3 days. Thursday, we're going to remain fairly dry, at least in Madison during the day. Better chance of rain will come overnight, but then during the day on Friday, it will be dry again. And then as we head into the weekend, small chance of rain Saturday, but a better chance of rain Sunday. And then the rain chances do look to increase a little bit by the time we get to Monday of next week. And again, a lot can still change between now and then, but at this point in time, there is good suggestion that we'll see some widespread rain and a decent amount of rainfall for early next week.
And coming up in sports, it was the Sarah Franklin show at the Kohl Center, how the Badger senior single-handedly beat Marquette. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Gas, groceries, school supplies, everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse. Raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Pella windows and doors are best in class, not only from the endless styles, but for the features you can't see. Pella manufactures, tests, installs, services, and warranties their products, meaning quality craftsmanship and innovative design are built into every Pella window and door for timeless beauty and performance. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. Trust your home with RG Heating and AC.
They produced yacht rock hits that defined an era. It's Ambrosia. Performing live October 12th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. With special guest John Ford Coley. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. Soft rock that rocked the yacht. Ambrosia, John Ford Coley, October 12th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado.
See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished? There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
The Friends of the Middleton Performing Arts Center present Rick Lindy and the Jukebox Legends, a musical tribute to the early roots of rock and roll. Saturday, September 28th. One show only. Tickets available online now.
Anytime Wisconsin and Marquette volleyball get together, there's always fireworks. Add in a bigger venue, and it doesn't get much better than that in the I-94 rivalry. This year, the two brought their match to the Kohl Center. Now, the Badgers spotted the Golden Eagles a one-set lead and then went to work in the second. Carly Anderson in for the injured Charlie Furbringer, sets up Sarah Franklin, and Frank the Tank does what she does. Hammers it home for the kill, and in the process, reached the 1,500 kill milestone for her career. But she was far from done. Later in the set, she's gonna drop it down from the back row, and yeah, Franklin knows it's her night tonight. Now, Anderson had 51 assists. Here's one more to Franklin, who paints the line. 33 kills from her. Badgers win it 3-1.
Frank was in a lot of pain the entire match. To put that performance, to play that performance with her back as tight as what it was and as much pain as she was. I mean, she's a warrior. I mean, that is absolutely one of the best matches I've ever seen a player do under the circumstances. It was fantastic.
It's been a good first 2 weeks of the NFL season for Braylon Allen. The former Badger made history in Week 1, becoming the youngest player to gain a yard in a game. And then Agent Zero followed that up with a 2-touchdown performance where, again, history was rewritten. His quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, who's 20 years older than Allen, stopped by the Pat McAfee show today and had nothing but good things to say about his running back.
You know, I heard about this kid when he was at Wisconsin. He was 17 years old playing on the field, and now he sits in front of me in meetings. He's 20 freaking years old. He hasn't turned 21 until January. So give him a lot of credit. He's a smart kid. He's a tough kid. I mean, he's fast enough to get around guys. He's big enough to run over you. And he's good in the pass game. He had a couple catches as well. He's a talented kid.
Well, Brewers' magic number for them is 2. Bryce Harper had other plans. 6th inning tied at 1, and Harper sends a 2-run shot to center field. That makes it 3-run Phillies. Brewers would lose 5-1, but the good news, so did the Cubs. So Milwaukee's magic number to clinch the division is now down to 1. We're back after this.
Welcome to Washington, D.C. You got a bunch of loudmouth, preening politicians. It's absolute chaos. I'm Derek Van Orden, and after 26 years as a Navy SEAL, there's a few things that I learned. You stay on mission, you know what you're fighting for, and sometimes you got to get a little dirty to finish the job. Let's go, kids. Not you. Not you. You. Let's go. I'm Derek Van Orden. I approve this message.
With Sweeto Metal Roofing, you get quality metal roofs installed by the best in the business. A metal roof means no fading, no storm repairs, true sustainability, and lower energy bills.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
We're cranking up the voltage, Wisconsin. Lottery retailers all around the state are lighting up with the latest limited time offer. It's Badger 5. 5 will get you 6. During the month of September, players who buy a $5 or greater Badger 5 ticket will receive a bonus ticket for the next drawing of Badger 5. This electric offer is only available for a limited time and only at Wisconsin lottery retailers.
There are over 21,000 Wisconsin veterans struggling to pay for rent and utilities.
Thank you for your service.
Many are also facing issues with their mental health.
Thank you for your service.
We must do more to help these heroes who have already sacrificed so much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Words simply aren't enough.
I'm sorry.
Make a difference by donating to this critical Wisconsin survival safety net today.
Are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Meet Edwin Ramos,
This illegal immigrant murdered 3 Americans. An MS-13 gang member, Ramos was arrested for a gun crime. But as DA, Kamala didn't prosecute him. Months later, Ramos murdered a man and his 2 sons in cold blood.
Are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You've got this. You didn't think your sister would take you up on the dog sitting offer, but here you are. Barriers? Purchased. Doggy distractions? No expense spared. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft grace zone. So when you have to make a purchase, or 7, to prepare, you can be sure we're looking out for you. So you can look out for him. You've got this with Associated Bank.
Donate kids' winter coats at Clinky Cleaners during Coats for Kids.
You can't trust those numbers because many are saying 6 is afraid of 7. I don't know if you know this. 7, 8, all the cats in Springfield, Ohio.
New tonight.
Hong Kong authorities mark the Mid-Autumn Festival by flying hundreds of drones over the city. The festival is a big holiday on the lunar calendar throughout East Asia. In China, images of rabbits and mooncakes are closely associated with the holiday. This drone show lasted about 10 minutes. The moon also lit up the sky, outshining the drones a bit for a portion of the show. And Jacob's back one more time, a final check of the forecast.
Yeah, temperatures are going to remain in the 80s for the rest of this week, middle 80s through the end of the work week. Chance of rain Thursday night, but both the daytime on Thursday and Friday, it should be dry. Just a brief round of showers and some storms expected overnight Thursday. Early next week, though, we are expecting several days of possible rainfall, and we could see a decent amount of precipitation. Still a bit unclear just how much we will see, but we'll take anything we get. Temperatures will also be cooler. Highs will be back in the 70s.
It'd be nice to get just a little bit of rain.
Yeah,
Jacob,
exactly.
thank you. Thanks for joining us, folks, for News 3 Now at 10. We hope you have a great night.